Yo, what is up, folks? This is Johnny Bnq coming back at you with another episode of Bnq and Goof show today. A lot of big announcements today. First and foremost, we just launched our Patreon page, and we just launched a new merch store. Links to those will be in the description. One thing I will say about our merch store is things didn't really go out the way I hoped it would, if I'm being 100% honest. I went there with a very specific idea of what I wanted made, and they said, well, we can't do anything like that. So kind of really it wasn't ideal. It wasn't an ideal situation, more or less. So we got 5 shirts on there right now. Now knowing the limited capabilities of the designs that I'm able to do, I think I could probably figure out a better strategy of what kind of shirts that we can make on there, and hopefully we get some better products out there soon. But still, links to those things will be in the description below. Check it out. Support the channel, buy some stuff. Spend like $100 million, give it to us. Anyway, pretty crappy day yesterday for Philly fans. For those of you who know, of course the Phillies Game 6 lost, losing at 4-2 to the Astros. And people may remember last week's episode's title was Phillies Win the World Series, which I said in confidence that the Phillies would win the World Series. And you might think, well, now he must feel like a fool because he said the Phillies were going to win the World Series, and they didn't. Well, guess what? Joke's on you. I don't regret it, and I would do it again, even knowing that the Phillies were going to lose. Because first of all, the Houston Astros cheated, so technically and by default, the Phillies have won the the Phillies are actual legitimate World Series champions. But, the MLB, they're cowards, they're fools. They will, they don't want to look foolish. So they will continue the farce of saying that the Houston Astros fairly and squarely won the World Series, which is not technically a fact, but whatever. So on paper, we lost the World Series, and that's not great. We don't get to have a parade, but whatever. There's in all seriousness, given that the Phillies, there's points in the season didn't even look like we were going to be able to make the playoffs. So come all the way to the World Series. In hindsight and looking at it objectively, it's still a pretty good season. Like I said, once we beat the Braves, it was just like all. It was all playing with house money from there. It was all just, already just defied expectations. So, just making it there, I'm happy to see the team, do well like that. But also yesterday, a little lesser known, the Philadelphia Union, the MLS soccer team, was in the MLS Cup Finals yesterday as well against LAFC, in probably one of the best MLS games I ever seen. Well, I didn't actually get to see because apparently to my knowledge, there's no possible way you could view it online or on TV. I couldn't find it anywhere. I looked. Well, I didn't look everywhere. I looked on ESPN, and long story short, I didn't find any way I could find it. I couldn't find anywhere to watch it. Anyway, it was a high-scoring game, back and forth. Ended up going into extra time, past extra time, into penalty kicks, where we just couldn't get it done, man. We lost 3-0 on penalty kicks. And LAFC beating us, so ended up losing two back-to-back championships last night. So that's not ideal. I don't feel great as a Philadelphia fan today. Well, I don't feel great today, but I think looking back on this, both those teams had really great seasons and made it far and made it, to the very. They made it as far as you could possibly get without winning a championship. So, I mean, second place isn't the worst thing in the world. It could have been worse. I mean, I think it's a little harder on the Union given that they had a lot more expectations coming onto them. They were the number one seed in their conference and all that. But, overall, they both had great seasons. So I think after a couple of days when the kind of, being bummed out of that they lost the game wears off, we can look back and say, these were great seasons for both these teams. And hopefully, we still got a chance with, the Eagles. The Eagles are now 8-0, the best start in franchise history. They won Thursday night 29-17 against the Texans. Looked great in the second half. First half was so-so. I mean, at the end of course, I didn't actually get to watch the game because I don't have Amazon Prime. I don't watch Thursday night football games on Amazon Prime. So it's pretty. Let's be honest. It's pretty dumb that they have games on Amazon Prime. Just show it on TV, you weirdos. Because who buys Amazon Prime to watch Thursday night football? 0 people, 1 people. No, even the people that work at Amazon don't buy Amazon Prime to watch Thursday night football games. Anyway, what was I even talking about? Oh yeah, the game against the Eagles. It was 14-14 in the first half of that game, but I lost my train of thought. Yeah, you'd expect the Eagles to have been blown out a little more. But, at the end of the day, the Texans are still an NFL football team, even though they stink. And they're maybe the worst team in the league. I can't really think off the top of my head of a team worse than them. But I don't think there is. But at the end of the day, they're still an NFL football team. They still got professional guys playing for them, which is more than you could say for the New York Giants. I don't think they have a single professional player on their team, on their roster. And they're somehow like 6-2 or whatever they are, But so it's not crazy that we were tied with them in the first half. The second half we started playing like I think like most people expected the game to go. So it started kind of going that way in the second half. So, but another great performance overall by the Eagles. They have been, and I can't say this enough. They have been, and they look like they're going to continue to be, just the best team in the NFL. So obviously they're not playing today, so I don't got any predictions for. I don't know who they play next week off the top of my head. Flyers won last night. They're having a pretty good season. They're one of the top. I don't remember their rank right off the top of my head, but they're one of the top teams in their conference. They won last night 3-2 or 2-1? Yeah, I think it was 2-1 against the Senators. Or maybe it was 3-2. I can't remember off the top of my head. It was it wasn't my top priority last night as far as Philadelphia sports, to be honest. No offense to the Flyers, but I was kind of focused on other Philadelphia area sports teams. So I'm not. But yeah, now we're just looking forward to. Now the Phillies and Union are done, we're just looking forward to Eagles. Of course, I think Eagles at this point of the season are probably Super Bowl favorites, or at least up there. I don't know if they might have the Bills favored above them, but which I don't give because the Bills are not undefeated, so the undefeated team should be number one. But regardless of that, we still got the Sixers, which they're 4-6 right now, and I don't want to say that they're in trouble, although they are 4-6 right now, and they've lost James Harden for a month, or 10. I don't know if that month is a for sure thing, but that's the kind of preliminary report is that he's going to be out for at least a month or around a month. I don't know what the official timeline for his return is, but I mean that doesn't help. We're already below 500, and then one of our best players come out. But I think we'll be okay. We still have a good team. Embiid's been out the last couple games with I don't know, just said illness. I don't know exactly what the story is behind that. I'll admit that I don't really know, but Tyrese Maxey, I mean, he's really, he came out last season and he was kind of a revelation for the 76ers. He kind of broke out last year, but now this year he's kind of, especially with Embiid and now Harden being out for extended period of time for Harden, and Embiid's been out a couple games this season too. Tyrese Maxey has really taken over as the number 3 guy on that team. So that's he's really been a big bright spot on the team, despite all of the kind of like failure to meet like expectations this year for the 76ers. But it's only 10 games into the season. I don't think it's time to freak out or say the Sixers stink or they're not going to do this or they're not going to do that. There's still lots of season left. There's still over 70 games left. So, I mean, we could definitely turn this thing around. I mean, just the fact that, we could still, we've won games, without Embiid and without Harden this year. I don't know if we've won a game without both of them in there. But, we've won games this year with some of our star players out. So I think it's definitely too early to throw in the towel on the Sixers for right now. But we're definitely hoping for them. But I think our best shot at for the city of Philadelphia, the best shot for a championship this year is going to have to be the Eagles. As far as the remaining teams, I mean, even though the Flyers are looking pretty good, and I mean the Sixers aren't looking great right now. But either way, both those teams are still way too early in the season to really give them any kind of, be really particularly sure about their shot at a championship. We'll have to wait until at least the All-Star break before we can really zero in on what the playoff expectations are going to be for those teams. But yeah, we're looking. It's a bummer right here for the city of Philadelphia today, but if we look on the bright side, things went pretty well for those two teams, and we got a bright future for some of the other teams that are still, their seasons are ongoing. So, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. That's all I got for you guys for this week. Like I said, make sure to check out our Patreon and sign up and give us a little bit of money so we can make a better show. Buy some merch, give us some money, blah blah blah. You know the deal. These shirts are expensive. I'm not gonna lie, they're made out of, and I don't want to tell people this, but because I think I can get in trouble for this, but those shirts, they're made out of panda. They're made out of panda fur. This is 100% true. You can look it up. It's made out of panda fur, and I could charge thousands and thousands of dollars for these t-shirts, but I'm only charging like $20-$30 or whatever it is. I don't know the price. I didn't come up with the prices for the t-shirt either. It's just what the company that I get to make them said to sell them for. But whatever. Yeah, so I'm only charging $30-$40 for shirts that I could honestly charge like $15,000 for. So they're really a steal when you think about it. And you might think, well, these the designs on these t-shirts stink. Well, I would say, screw you, make your own t-shirts. It's not easy, especially when you don't give a lot of options. These Latvian kids that are making the freaking t-shirts, they don't have a lot of, I don't want to say that, they don't have a lot of expertise in, making t-shirts. They're only like 4 years old. So what do you expect? But no, it's buy the things, sign up for the Patreon, help the channel grow. Thanks for watching this week's episode. Make sure to leave a like, hit a subscribe if you're not already. And we're out. Go Birds, go Fightins. Still proud of them. And life rips.